Upon return, my first impression was that considering the hurricane, the city had made a remarkably swift recovery. The infrastructure didn't seem markedly changed, and everyone was in good spirits. All of this gave me great joy and also hope for what lay in store at my favorite restaurant. Although I had worried that it might have closed, a quick check of travel sites showed that no, La Estrella del Mar was still in business and had a mountain of reviews. Thankfully, the internet had been restored in my hotel. There was no relying on word of mouth this time, but to maintain an element of surprise, I deliberately avoided reading any reviews. While the internet was now readily accessible, Cuba still doesn't allow for ride-sharing apps, so back in a cab I went. I'm sure my Spanish had only gotten worse in the intervening years, so I was surprised to find that the driver knew exactly where I was heading. Within a few miles of the destination, crudely made signs appeared on telephone poles and trees. With arrows and distances to the restaurant, I figure, with the hard times, they must have decided to boost their visibility somewhat. And who could blame them? Rounding the final corner to the restaurant, I nearly told the driver to just continue on. I couldn't believe it was the same house. I had been mentally prepared for signs of damage from the storm, and yes, this was apparent in the flattened vegetation, water-stained walls, and sagging roof. But what I had not anticipated was the barrage of color and noise which assaulted my senses. Cheap plastic chairs and tables outside, a gift shop stand overflowing with tacky merchandise, and gone was the beloved hand-carved sign. In its place, a huge neon monstrosity hung over the entrance. It was quite unnerving and gave off the impression of an old antique decorated by a child. To be fair, the original architecture had remained intact, but little else as far as I could tell. Needless to say, there was no stately older gentleman to greet me at the door. Instead, the rhythmic pounding of reggaeton indicated they were open for business. Having made the trek, I decided there was no turning back now.